What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Natl Jones. Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have a special video for you guys, and it may not be related to cars per se, but it's actually the reason why I haven't been able to post any car content since the last video on the channel. Me and my family, we took a family vacation to South Africa, which took months of like literal planning. And then on top of that, you know, getting ready for a trip like that, it's something that you don't really, you know, just take a couple days out just to pack some stuff away and then you're good to go. It took a long time, a lot of planning went through it. It was a great trip all around. I just want to share it with you guys, share you guys what most people will never see, or you know, it will be a long time before they could see it in person. This video it's like 2 weeks worth of videos, and then I had to hand pick certain ones. A good point of view of Cape Town, South Africa. And I must say, it was a really nice trip, start to finish. Eye-opening for sure. Contemplated about not getting back on that plane again. But for the most part, it was a really nice and beautiful trip, and I want to share it with you guys. So without further ado, here you go. First thing we see when we touch down in Cape Town, South Africa, is this beautiful mountain called Table Mountain here. Further we go into the city towards our hotel, we see a huge building with art dedicated to Nelson Mandela, the political figure who fought for and successfully rid of the apartheid down here in South Africa. What we're looking at here is Tabletop Mountain. Over there is Tabletop Mountain. And then to the right of it, that's Lion's Head right there. I'm not sure what that is. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like a bowl almost. That looks really cool. As we walked the street through Cape Town, we came across a neighborhood called Kaap Village, which is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Cape Town, and I think one of the oldest neighborhoods in South Africa. These houses were historically known to be living quarters for slaves back when the Dutch came to settle here in what is now Cape Town, back in the 1700s. Now the reason why the houses are different colors is because before the slaves were freed, all the houses were painted white to stand out and say that these are the living quarters for slaves. And once they were set free, once they were emancipated, they took to painting their houses different bright colors to show expression of freedom from slavery. In this neighborhood, it is also home to the country's oldest mosque. Coming up on the first stop out of the city of Cape Town, beachside neighborhood, where they call, the locals call it Young Money, because there is a lot of young celebs that have a house and live out here. And these celebs are celebs that we know in the States and celebs abroad. And they have houses over here, and they come here for during the summertime or on their off seasons, and they come here to relax. Sort of a getaway for them, and it's really nice. Honestly, I don't blame them. It looks beautiful out here. There are 4 different beaches here as well. They're all separated by boulders, and one of the less populated beaches, still public though, still public beach. Now driving to our next destination is Hout Bay. This is on the outskirts right here, looking at the mountain range that surrounds Hout Bay. It is a fishing port. They mainly fish for sea bass and prawns. They fish for other species as well, but mainly sea bass and prawns. And for those who don't know what prawns are, they are like a certain type of shrimp, just a different name. A really beautiful city. Also, this city was known for its wood. Way back when the settlers came here to South Africa in the 1700s, this was a lot more wooded area down there in that valley, and they would cut down the trees and use the wood for, you know, the houses and the infrastructure that they were building up in Cape Town. Now I want to pause the video real quick and show you the beauty of South Africa, and not just, you know, oh, these mountains and beautiful water, but also the characteristics. You look at that mountain range right there, it's pretty cool. As you can see, it looks like a rhinoceros. If you look at that, you know, landscape, it matches the wildlife here in Africa and in some parts of South Africa. As we travel to the Cape of Good Hope, we take this scenic view. We take the Chapmans Peak Drive toll road. It winds its way between one city to the next on the Atlantic coast on the southwestern tip of South Africa. Chapmans Peaks Drive is one of the most spectacular drives, arguably, in the world. With a total drive of 5.5 miles and 114 turns, I would say, in my opinion, that this road is the car guy's dream to drive on. Now to the right here is a small village, a beachside village. Now this beach is one of the lesser known beaches in South Africa, mainly because there's not a lot of vendors out there for food and whatnot. Now we're moving on to the National Park of Table Mountain. This is where the most southeastern tip of Africa can be found. It's a really nice place. It's very beautiful, and they have a lot of wildlife that move around here. And here we are about to pull up to one of the next stopping point of our trip, Fasle Bay. That's what it was called. And the reason why it was called Fasle Bay is because when ships were coming to Cape Town, they would come into this bay first thinking that they were at Cape Town, but in reality they were actually in a different bay, so they called it Fasle Bay. Now this was a cool interaction with wildlife. I wouldn't say interaction, I would say more so just, you know, get to see it up close. Wild ostrich. It was pretty cool to see, a lot bigger in person. That right there is our female ostrich, and I must say they are huge. They stand about maybe 7 feet tall, full adult size. And this is actually a youngling. Local said is probably like 8 months old or 9 months old. So majestic. Here we are. We finally made it to the southwestern point of the African continent, Cape of Good Hope. Very beautiful place. Not what I expected with the rocks though.
Hold on, I'll come with you. Just give me a second.
So here's another encounter with the wildlife. This is a troop of baboons. This first one that you see right here, that is the male, or the alpha of the troop that you'll see followed right behind them. They say there's tons of troops out here, and you know, you'll see how many are within the troop. You know, they have the little young ones, they have the older ones, the elders, you have the mamas and the little ones riding on the back of the moms, and it's really cool stuff. Now, the most interesting part of our trip is the village of the penguins. Yes, you heard that right, penguin on the African continent. Now, these aren't like emperor penguins or whatnot. No, they're called African penguins, and they are mainly in this area during this time. It's summertime down here.
No, that's not distorted.
And this is the time where the penguins would shed their feathers, their old feathers, and grow out new ones. So they would like to come to warmer climates, because if they tried doing it in colder climates, them losing the feathers and trying to, grow in the new ones, it just wouldn't work out, and they would freeze. They would freeze to death in the colder parts of year. Also, fun fact, from where we're standing, Antarctica is 1,000 miles from where we're at, and that was really interesting to find that out. The temperature here right now is like 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and so it was really cool to come across penguins in this weather. Well, this is coming close towards the end of the video here. It was an amazing trip, I must say. From seeing penguins on the African continent to seeing live ostrich and then trying prawns for the first time, to seeing the mountains, the mountain range, and seeing the weather phenomenon, and just taking it all in. It was very beautiful place. I loved every bit of it, and I feel like we need to go back. We didn't have enough time to enjoy the sights for what they were. But we did at least get to see the most popular beach, which I understand why. The mountains in the back, you can see it's the silhouette on both sides of the screen, the black silhouette. Those are mountains that are, it's almost surrounding the whole thing. It's like, it's a bay. It's a huge bay, and it was a very beautiful sight, I must say. Very beautiful. I highly advise anybody that's thinking about going to South Africa, go to South Africa. You will not regret it. And make sure you have enough time to do a lot of things, because there's so much to do down here. But until then, you guys have a good one. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to press that bell button for any notifications or updates for any new videos coming out.